All right, we're doing another Namastream class, Pilates from Doug's house. We're going to start standing up. We'll take our feet slightly apart, a little wider than shoulder width, and the knees bend. We rest our hands on our knees. We've done this a zillion times. So strong legs, soft upper body, and the part of your neck where it meets the spine between the shoulders, that's kind of lifted up. So we have a nice straight spine. We're going to inhale, lift the tail feathers, and lift the chest, lift the heart, look forward and up. Exhale, round the spine, pull the belly in. And inhale, arch the back. And exhale, around the spine. Feel free to move your legs around a little bit if you want. The legs are just a base for our arms. Our goal here is to keep the spine really soft and get it articulating, getting it arching and curling. And we'll inhale, arch. And just one more time, we're going to exhale around the spine and curl. And then we'll come to a neutral spine. So again, we want to get that spine nice and long and straight and keep the neck long out of the shoulders. And we're going to go to the right. We're going to exhale and twist. Just twist the rib cage. Inhale back to center and exhale, twist the other way. And inhale to center. And exhale, twist. And inhale to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. We're going to do 2 more each side. And notice if one side is a little easier than the other. I'll bet it is. You might have a little more range of motion on one side. And 1 more each side. And middle and twisting to the left. And back to the middle. We'll go ahead and roll up to standing and bring the legs a little closer together. We'll have the feet about shoulder width apart. Let's just let the arms hang here and turn the palms of the hands slightly forward. We want to flatten out our belly and be sure the shoulder blades are dropped. And then we try to just relax the arms. Side bending to the right, we're going to inhale and think of launching the rib cage up higher off the pelvis. And we'll exhale to center. And then we'll go the other way on an inhale and an exhale, and alternating each side. And again, noticing if one side is a little more cooperative than the other. And inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. That was 3 each side. We're going to bring our arms up now. I think my hands are a little bit out of view, but our arms are in a high V position. We'll make sure the shoulder blades gently glide down and the low ribs stay inside the body. And we're going to do a side bend like this. To the right, inhale, keeping the head between the arms, and exhale. And inhale, other side. And exhale. And again, breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out. And 1 more each side, keeping the rib cage lifted high off the pelvis because we're looking for lengthening and not contraction. And inhale and exhale, and we'll lower the arms. So now we're going to get a little bit more energetic. We're going to be doing what I call a fast twist. And I'm going to go in slow motion first so we can break it down. So you'll twist to the right and the left arm goes forward and the right arm goes back. That left arm is slightly higher than the shoulders and that other arm is just directly behind you, a little lower than the shoulder, and you're turning your head to look behind you. And then you'll twist the other way and switch. So now the right arm goes forward. That's essentially the movement right there, except we're going to do it really fast. Here we go. So you're going to have strong, sturdy legs. Keep the arms really loose and let momentum carry the arms. Be sure you're breathing a sharp exhale as you go into the twist. And a few more to go. And we'll rest and stop. Roll the shoulders a little bit. So going into our balance, you may have to let your head clear a little. So I'm going to lower my screen just a little bit so you can see a little more of the upper body. And we're going to start standing on our right foot today. And then we'll take the left knee up. Now, that knee is up like so, directly out in front of the hip joint. I'll face you. And now the arms go straight forward, the shoulders stay relaxed. As we inhale, that knee moves out to the left as we twist to the right. And as we exhale, everything comes back to center. So everything moving horizontally. Inhale out, external rotation in the hip joint. Exhale, come in. And the hands stay in front of the chest. The hands don't swing behind you when you twist. And come back to center. And we'll lower everything. And then the other knee comes up. The right knee, arms forward. And the right knee moves out to the right as the rib cage twists to the left. And we come back in. And we inhale. And we exhale. My balance has been better. So today's not a great balance day, but I'll do the best I can. And come back in. Good. And we'll come down. We'll shake it out. Going back to the other side again, we're going to go in the opposite direction. So left knee up, arms forward. The knee moves across midline as you twist to the left. So you're going to feel your body wringing out and then come back to center. And again, I like to exhale into the twist and inhale back to center. And one more time. And back to center. And we'll come down. Switch legs, right knee up, arms forward. And knee moves to the left and we twist to the right. And back to center. And again. And back to center. And one more time. And back to center. And we'll come down and we'll shake it out. So we're ready to go down to the mat. I would like you guys to just get your mat in place, stand on your mat, and you can do a couple of roll downs to come to the mat. I need to move my laptop and move my mat so everything's in view. Okay, by the way, our props today, if you have a yoga block, have a yoga block handy, and if you have a strap, we might have time for stretching. So if you're, just finish up your last roll down and come to the mat and come to sitting, and we're just going to face the same way that I am. Okay, let's sit up. We're going to do, I call this an easy teaser. Let's have both legs straight. And the spine essentially straight, but we're all leaning back a little bit. We'll bring the arms forward. Now, firm up here in your center and lift up the right leg. Now, you might not be able to lift it high, but we're going to keep it kind of straight and try to avoid gripping here in the quads. Just float and breathe. And bring the leg down. You can sit more upright for a second. And then we're going to lean back again. And the left leg comes up, maybe not very high. Try to keep your spine almost straight and the abdominal wall solid and the leg as straight as possible, and breathe. And as the leg comes down, you can come more upright. And now leaning back onto the elbows. And we're going to do our shivering. So, you're lifted out of your shoulders, but not too much. The spine is a little bit rounded, but not too rounded. The belly is drawn in and the low back should be rounded rather than arched. So really try to move the sacrum further away from the back of the rib cage. So the legs will be ever so slightly apart and the knees slightly bent. And the work is going to come from the center as we start shivering the legs like this. It's going to be small, quick, energetic move. And breathe. And rest. First one's always the hardest. We'll take a breath here. And we're going to do it again. Think of a drum roll. Here we go. And and rest. Already you feel the blood pumping faster and the heart rate is up. You might even be a little out of breath. So one more time. And rest. Very nice. Go ahead and lie down on your back. So when we do our dead bug, one arm is going to be moving and the opposite leg is going to be moving. The arm will move north. North is the direction of your head. The leg will move south. South is the direction of the feet. So let's find home position first. The hips are level on the mat. There's only a tiny bit of air under the low back. The neck is nice and long. To prepare, let's press our low back into the mat. You're going to roll your pelvis toward you a little bit. Let's bring the arms up. The arms are soft. They don't have to be straight. And one leg up at a time. The knees can be bent a little bit. Now, all the work is going on right here. Keep the connection between the rib cage and the front of the hip bones. Tap the abdominal wall. It's solid. And the left arm is going to move north and the right leg moves south. And then bring him back in. And again, inhale, same arm, opposite leg away. And exhale back in. 3 more times. Be sure there's no movement in the spine. There's no arching of the low back. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Hold right here. We'll do the other arm, other leg now. Inhale out. And exhale back in. And inhale out. Not going too far out. And exhale back in. You can move away 1 or 2 inches and you're still doing a lot of work. And we'll do 2 more. And last one. Great. Check your low back. Make sure it's still against the mat. Lower one foot, lower the other foot, and lower the arms. How'd we do? We did okay? All right. We'll do one more. Actually, let's go to our bridge first. Get into your home position. Legs parallel, feet stay flat on the floor, arms relax. We inhale. We exhale, we rock our pelvis toward us, press the low back into the mat, and then think of the pubic bone floating up to the ceiling, just rolling the spine up. Inhaling at the top, and exhale, lowering down. And inhaling at the bottom. So your knees are about the width of the size of the block, like you have a block between the knees. If your knees are wider, farther apart than that, I want you to grab the block and put it between your knees, but just move like you have a block between your knees. And inhale and exhale. And the spine is getting really sleeky by now. And inhale at the top and exhale, come down 1 vertebra at a time. And inhale, neutral spine. We'll do 1 more. And inhale. And exhale. So now we will grab the block or a rolled up towel. And if you don't have any of those, you'll just have your knees together. One leg comes up to tabletop, then the other leg. And I'm going to put the block, the skinny ray, between the knees. The knees are right over the hip joints. The shins are parallel to the floor. Arms go out to the side in an airplane position along the floor, palms up. We check our low back and make sure it's pressed into the mat. And then we inhale. Let's all twist to the left. Most of you are going toward your screen, keeping the opposite shoulder down. And we exhale back to center. And we'll inhale, twist the other way. And exhale to center. So we want the hips pivoting as we continue this. We want to get that twist in the spine, especially the lower half of the spine. We don't want one knee gliding further away than the other knee. That's why we're squeezing the block. And let's go to the left. And to the right. And we'll do one more each side. Inhale out. And exhale in. And inhale out. And exhale in. Okay, leave your legs right there. Go ahead, take your hands and lightly hold on to the part of the thighs near the knees. We're just going to assist the feet to lower down without tweaking your low back. Our legs are back in our home position. They're going to stay there during the chest lift, hands behind the head. Just squirm your body so your mat's a little bit longer. So your spine is a little bit longer along the mat. And then keep the length of the spine. Inhale and exhale, lift up to a chest lift. So the bottom of the shoulder blades are maybe off the mat, maybe not. We'll inhale at the top and exhale, lower down, keeping the long spine, letting the knuckles barely touch the mat. Inhale and exhale, lift up and pause. Inhale and exhale, lower and inhale and exhale, lift up. And this time as you lift up, take your right hand and just find your lower ribs. They're right about here. Notice how they're inside the body. As you exhale, lower down, make sure those lower ribs don't flare out of the body. We keep them in the body. Inhale and exhale, lift up. And that tells you what your ribs were doing. Both hands behind the head and exhale, lower down. And inhale. And exhale, lift up, and now we'll get ready to add that twist. We pause and inhale, and everybody twist the rib cage to the left. Inhale back to center, stay lifted. Exhale, twist the rib cage to the right. And inhale to center. We go nice and slow. We follow our nice slow breath. Inhale to center, and exhale, twist. And inhale to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale to center. And exhale, twist. Inhale to center. Let's do one more each side. Last one is twisting to the right. And inhale to center. And we'll exhale, slowly come down. So let's take the block away and leave the legs where they are. We're going to take our arms up to the ceiling. The arms are straight, the palms face inward, and they're shoulder width apart. We're going to let those humerus bones kind of drop into the shoulder joints because we want the back of the shoulders more or less in contact with the mat. Now, left arm's going to go north, right arm goes south. Just like so, and then we'll switch. It's kind of like an exaggerated Frankenstein walk or something, like a robot walk. We'll call it robot walk. And we'll bring the arms up. Now let's just leave the arms up for now and bring the legs to tabletop one at a time. And we're going to bring our right knee in closer to our chest as we bend it more. And we're going to take our left leg about 60 degrees or so up to the ceiling. And then we're going to switch the legs. Boom, and boom, and boom. And keep that low back really attached to the mat. Now let's extend that left leg out long, right knees into the chest. The left arm goes north, the right arm goes south. And then we switch everything and exhale and exhale and exhale and keep going, kind of like a robot walk. Keep the entire low spine attached to the mat. So when the leg goes straight, the same side arm is going out straight. Last one, right leg out long, right arm overhead, and then we'll come down. I hope that wasn't too much brain work. So let's get ready for another bridge. Home position, arms relax alongside the body, palms down. No block, we're going to keep some space between the knees. Take the inhale, exhale, tucking the pelvis, and the pubic bone leads the way up. We'll just continue to breathe here at the top and make sure we're in a long straight line. Straight line from the bent knees all the way through almost all of the spine. Hips are level and squared up. On the exhale, right leg lifts, right knee stays bent. On the inhale, right foot lowers to the floor. Exhale, left leg up. Inhale, left leg down. And right leg up and lower. And left leg up and lower. And right leg up and lower. And left leg up and lower. And right leg up and lower. And one more to go. Exhale, left leg up and inhale, lower. Check to see that your hips are still level. Check to see that the hips didn't drop. Most of us probably need to lift them back up a little more. Let's take the arms up. We'll leave the arms up. As we exhale, lower the spine one vertebra at a time. Pull the knees into the chest. If it feels okay to you, lift up your head. If it feels okay to you, rock your body left to right. Okay, come to the middle, lower your head, and we're going to do some big knee circles. We're going to take our hands and just circle the knees way out, inner thigh stretch, and keep that circle going. And then let's go the other direction for 3. Okay, getting ready for crisscross. We'll take the legs and tabletop, hands behind the head, spine is long along the mat. We lift up to a chest lift. And we're going to bring our left knee in closer and extend the right leg really long. We're at about 45 degrees or even lower here. And we'll twist to the left. We want to twist toward the bent knee, and then we'll switch everything. Exhale and reach and twist and keep going. Now, can you scoop that belly in a little bit more? It's really important to keep the low back connected to the mat. Last one, twisting to the right. I'll wait for you. And then come back to the middle, and don't be in any hurry to come down. All right, right foot down, left foot down, head comes down. So we're going to leave our head down for this one, and I think we're going to leave our hands behind the head. We're going to go into scissor legs. I want you to straighten your left leg long along the floor and point that foot. And the right leg goes as straight up to the ceiling as you can get it and flex the foot. Now what we're going to do is pulse the right leg twice and then switch and pulse, pulse, and pulse, pulse, and use your abdominals to keep that low back really pressed into the mat. One more each side. Left leg comes up last and rest. So from here, we're going to do one bridge just to release everything. Arms relax alongside the body, home position. Inhale first. Exhale, get a strong tuck of the pelvis to lengthen out the back of the lower spine, and then we'll float the hips up to the ceiling. We'll take an extra breath up here. Now get that body nice and long and straight. And exhale, lower the spine one vertebra at a time. Hands behind the head. Lift up into chest lift position. Bring the left leg long along the floor and point the foot, and bring the right leg up and flex the foot. So the foot is going to flex when the leg goes up, and the foot points when the leg goes down. Pulse the right leg twice and switch and pulse, pulse, and pulse, pulse, and keep going. That belly has to stay really strong and flat and pulled in. Legs stay as straight as possible. One more each side. Left leg is the last to come up. And then we'll come down and come into home position. So for double leg stretch, This is the one where both arms circle out. If you want to support your neck with one hand, you'll leave one hand behind your head. We've done it many times. We're in home position. We'll lift up to our chest lift. We'll bring the legs to tabletop one at a time. The legs and the knees squeeze together. The knees come in closer to the chest and the chest lifts a little higher. So you can leave your left hand behind your head if you want, put the right hand on the knee, or you can take both hands on each of the knees. We inhale out, long straight arms, long straight legs. Exhale, the arms circle around as the knees come back in. And inhale out, and exhale in, and inhale out, and exhale in, and inhale out, and exhale in. We're halfway done. Switch hands behind the head if you're doing that. Inhale out, exhale in, inhale out, exhale in, and out, and in, and out, and in. Lower the head, pull your knees into your chest. Another bridging exercise. Hope you all are doing fine. Arms relax alongside the body. Inhale first. Exhale, keeping the feet and all 10 toes flat onto the mat. Roll up to your bridge. The leg movement's going to be similar to that hamstring pull we just did. We're going to take the right leg up. We're going to flex the right foot. We're going to see if we can get the leg to come into the north, a little closer to us. As we exhale, we point the foot and lower the leg down. You may or may not be able to touch the mat. I don't care, but keep the leg straight. Inhale, flex the foot, bring the leg back up, no pulsing. Exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up. You want to try to keep that right hip bone lifted and get it lots of range of motion in the feet. And one more up, and one more down. And bring it up, and we'll kind of bicycle the leg to bring the right foot down. Our left side is tired, which is good. We'll give equal time to the right side. So left leg up, long and straight, flex the foot, move the leg north, and then point the foot, exhale, move the leg south, flex the foot, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, point, flex, point, flex. Keep that left hip bone really lifted. And last one. And then we'll kind of bicycle the leg to come down to the floor. Now our right side got to work out. Even out your bridge, lift the hips a little higher, square them up. One more inhale, exhale, lower one vertebra at a time. Knees to chest, take a very short break. So we're going for our hamstring pull again, and we're going to do the foot pointing and flexing again, and we're going to add the twist. So let's take hands behind head. We'll lift to a chest lift position, left leg out long, right leg up, left foot is pointed, right foot is flexed. We'll start the legs first, pulse, pulse, and switch, and pulse, pulse, and pulse, pulse. Now that we have the legs going, we twist toward the upper leg. And pulse, pulse, and pulse, pulse. And it's only the upper leg that twists. Legs stay as straight as possible. Stay lifted. Almost there. And come to the middle, and we'll rest. Come on down. Let's take a full body stretch. Arms overhead, legs out long. Take 2 or 3 nice big breaths and really expand the rib cage. Good, and bring the arms down along your side again, and bend your knees, come to home position. Bring the hands behind the head, and lift up into a very high quality chest lift, looking forward. We're going to take our left arm alongside our body first. So it's going to look like this, left arm. Do a side bend to the left. Try to look past your left leg. Now we're going to move horizontally. We're not going to lift and lower. We're going to pulse. We're going to do 8, 7. It's like you're reaching your fingers past your ankles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll come back to the center. Switch the hands. Right arm long parallel to the floor, palms down. The side bend happens first. And here we go for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and back to the middle. We're not done yet. Switch arms. Side bending to the left again, and we're going to go for 6 and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the middle. Switch sides, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to the middle. And switch sides. This time we'll do 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to the middle, switching sides, and 4, 3, 2, 1. And back to the middle and lower the head. Arms alongside the body. The hip lift. So lifting the hips off the mat. It's going to be very, very small. Some of you at home may not be ready for this. That's fine, but here's what we're going to do. Knees are bent, both legs come up, and we want to press the low back against the mat. And what we want to do here is think about making the waistline smaller. So everything kind of draws in toward the middle. You can press your arms and hands into the mat. And as you exhale, see if you can just lift up the sacrum and lower it back down. 1/8 of an inch is fine. Let's try it again. And lower it back down. We want to lower down slowly. And lower. Now, some of you can lift a little higher. That's okay. And lower down. Do a few more. I want to make sure there's no tension in your neck and no tension in the low back. If you're having any problems at all, I want you to skip this exercise. If you're doing it, do one more. And lower down. And pull the knees into the chest. Take a little break. Now, holding on to the back of your knees, I want you to take your legs up to the ceiling, and they don't have to be straight here. We're going to move our feet around. So I want you to point your left foot and flex your right foot, and then switch. And I just want you to prance it out with the feet here. Just notice how much range of motion you have. In a minute, we're going to be doing this while we're in our bridge. All right, bring the feet down, home position. Arms relax alongside the body. Inhale first. Exhale, strong rocking of the pelvis as you peel the spine up. Now adjust your body here. We're going to be up here for a little while, so make sure you're in a good place. Make sure your low back is not arched and the hip creases are really open. What you're trying to do is get those hip creases to lift up a little higher. Okay, we'll come to tiptoes, and then we'll lower the heels and we'll flex both feet. So the feet are off the mat and the heels are digging into the mat. And we'll point and flex and point and flex and come down to flat feet. Now we're going to point our left foot and flex our right foot, and then we switch and switch and switch and switch. Just keep going. Any breath pattern that works for you is fine. But I would like you to find your full range of motion. I would like you to lift those heels up really high. And for most people, the feet start to migrate away from the body, as mine are. So let's bring the feet down for a minute, flatten them out. We'll lower our spine one vertebra at a time. And we'll bring our heels in closer to our butt. And we'll roll back up to that bridge. And let's prance it out some more. Prance and prance and prance and prance, and try to keep the pubic bone lifted as high as possible. Just a few more times. One more each side. And feet come down flat. One more inhale. Exhale, lower one vertebra at a time. Okay, I want you to find your yoga strap or your belt or whatever you have. We're going to take a quick stretch before we move on. Strap around the right foot. Both legs are straight and scissored, and we gently pull on the right leg. And your choice to hold still here in your stretch or bend the right knee a little bit, pull the leg in more, and straighten the right leg. It'll move away, and bend, and straighten, and bend, and straighten. Dynamic hamstring stretch. Static stretch works too. Pick your choice. And we'll all straighten the leg. We'll hold it for 2 more breaths. And switch feet, switch legs. Okay, so pull gently into a static stretch and stay here, or dynamic stretch with just a little bit of a bend of the knee. It's like you're gently pumping the leg. Two more times. And hold the leg straight and breathe. And relax, we'll come out of it. Okay, we're going to need our block. Now, if you don't have a block, a rolled up or a folded up towel will be fine, or a little couch cushion will be fine too. We're going to be putting the block the flat way under the hips. So lift your hips up to a bridge position. Block goes under the sacrum. Some of the block is on the lumbar spine, but be sure the sacrum is on the block. And then before you lift up the legs, let's just kind of see if we can let that lumbar spine sink a little bit lower. We'll take a relaxation moment right here. Be sure your body feels all aligned and centered. Arms relax along your mat. One leg up, another leg up. Okay, we're going to do some simple leg circles. I want you to straighten the legs, and the feet are just neutral and comfortable here, and the legs are together. We're going to inhale, take the legs south, lower, but no arching of the low back, and then we'll circle the legs out. Circle doesn't have to be big. Right, so we're going to inhale, legs down together, and exhale, legs circle out. Try to keep the legs as straight as possible. Okay, that was 3. Let's go the other direction. Circle out and down, bring them together, bring them back up together. And inhale, circle out, and exhale up together. And one more time. Okay, now we're going to mimic the movement we did when we were scissoring our legs. So let the legs come apart a little bit. I want you to point the left foot and flex the right foot and take that left leg down and bring the right leg in a little closer to you. So we're not going to do any pulsing. We're just going to switch and switch and switch. So the foot always flexes as the leg comes up. The foot always points as the leg goes down. Now let's bring the left leg up and the right leg away, and each leg is going to circle out and come back in. Now we're going to not worry about the feet, let the feet be relaxed, and then we'll circle out the other way and back in. Big windmills, big helicopter. Inhale out, exhale in, inhale out, exhale in. Keep the abdominal strong while you're working. The legs are kind of soft, long, and relaxed, but lots of work going on in your center. And one more. And let's bring the left knee in, bend it and pull it into your chest. Take the right leg straight out and let that right leg kind of lower toward the floor. Now the heel may touch the floor and it may not, but we're taking a little stretch, like a lunge. We're getting a stretch right along the right side here. We'll take a few breaths. You'll notice the more you pull your knee into the chest, the closer it gets, the more of a stretch you get along the back of the lumbar spine. For most of you, it should feel really good. And we'll switch legs. Go into it carefully, explore, make little adjustments, find the place where your body is happiest. And 2 more breaths. Great, and release. So we're in home position, except we have a block under our butt here. We're just going to lift our hips up off the block. We'll move the block and come down. Okay, set the blocks. Actually, let's hold on to the block. Roll over onto your side so you're facing your screen. And put the block between your feet, probably the skinny way. And then lay down along your side. So our side lift, lower arm long along the floor. Yeah, you can still see my hand. Palm is up. I like to put a towel under my head here. Otherwise, the head just rests on the upper arm. See, now my head's more in line with the spine. Hips are stacked. Both legs are straight, and the legs are slightly out to the front. Kickstand hand on the floor. Take your inhale to prepare. And on the exhale, use your center to float both legs upward. Inhale, lower and hover. And exhale, lift. And inhale, lower and hover. We'll do that 3 more times. And 2 more. And 1 more. And go ahead and lower the legs. We're going to get rid of the kickstand arm. That arm goes up to the ceiling. Now we have to balance on our own. We inhale first. We exhale, lift both legs. And inhale, lower and hover. And lift. And lower, and lift, and lower. 2 more to go. The hips may roll backwards just a little bit, and that's fine. That's just normal body mechanics. And lower the legs, very nice. So I want you to bend your knees and take the block away. And just set the block anywhere near your head so it's out of the way. And kickstand hand back in place. So we're going to have our feet together this time, and we're going to lift up our legs again. We're going to hold them lifted this time. Leave the upper leg right where it is. As you inhale, lower the lower leg almost all the way to the floor. On the exhale, lift the upper leg back up. Lift the lower leg up to meet the upper leg. So we inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Ideally, that upper leg stays right where it is. 2 more to go. Be sure this does not cause your low back to arch. And last one. And let's lower both legs. Very nice. Push yourself up to the elbow now. We're going to do a quick side kick. So the legs are in the same place. They're slightly out to the front. We're resting on our elbow. We're lifted out of this lower shoulder, and we can keep this hand down here on the mat. We take the upper arm up to widen our chest, right? And we keep the wide chest, bring the fingertips alongside the head. Lift the upper leg up till it's parallel to the floor, flex the foot, swing it forward and pulse it twice, and then point the foot and swing it slightly behind you and pulse it twice. So exhale forward and inhale back. And exhale, and inhale, and pulse, pulse, and pulse, pulse. 2 more to go. Trying to keep the upper body really still. Last one. Bring the leg to its start position, and then we'll lower it down. Now we're going to come down and rest our head in our hands. So come down to the side of your body. And like you're watching TV at home on the floor. If your neck doesn't like this, then go ahead and go back to that side lift position with your head on your hand. I'm going to go ahead and stay like this. Bend both of your knees and Have your feet still lined up with your spine. So the knees are out to the front, but the feet are not out to the front. That lower leg's going to stay down. We're going to lift up the upper leg. So it's like we're slightly opening the clam. The knee stays bent. Now we're going to go into external rotation in the hip joint. So all the action happens here. The foot lowers and the knee lifts. And then we're going to go into internal rotation. So the knees might touch for you, but don't relax the leg and the foot lifts up. So external rotation, internal rotation. Now see if you can do that without any movement in your lower spine or the rest of the body. Good, a few more times. Okay, and bring them to neutral, and we'll just let the legs close up and rest for a second. We're going to do the same move, but we're going to be extending the legs straight at one point. So open up the clam again. We're going to do the internal rotation first, do the external rotation, holding the external rotation as you straighten the leg, and then bend the knee again and go into internal rotation. External, straighten the leg, bend the knee, internal, external, straighten the leg, bend the knee, and internal. Keep going. If you aren't breathing, I would like you to start breathing and just find any breath pattern that works for you. Do 2 more sets. External, straighten, bend, internal, and external, straighten, bend, and internal, and neutral, and let the clam close. If you want to take a little stretch, you might try pulling that knee into your chest, and you might feel it right here. Okay, come on up to sitting. And let's take a little intermission. So sit up tall and straight with your knees slightly bent and hold on to the back of your knees. Go ahead and lean your upper body backward. I'm going to go at an angle so you can see. Lean your upper body back and lift one leg off the floor and lift the other leg off the floor. We're getting ready for a teaser. Shoulder blades down. And you can hold right here if this is enough for you. You can lighten the grip on the legs, or you can let go of the legs. And the arms are forward and the tummy is working. We'll hold and breathe. Option to straighten the legs. And we'll hold for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and rest. Okay, so we got to do the other side. So in the side lift, we put the block between the feet, lie on your other side facing your screen. Block is the skinny way. Lower arm long along the floor, palm up. Towel under the head if you like. So the hips are stacked and the legs are slightly in front of the body. Stand hand in place, firm up the center. Exhale, float the legs up. Inhale, float down and hover. And lift. And lower. And exhale. And inhale, 2 more to go. And 1 more to go. And lower. Let's take away the kickstand arm now. Okay, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower and hover. Exhale, lift. Lower and hover. 3 more. And lower, steady as she goes. Lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. Very nice. So bend your knees, get rid of the block, just set it anywhere. And we're going to do the first version again. Kickstand hand on the floor. Feet are together. Both legs lift up. Now it's only the lower leg that moves. We inhale almost all the way down to the mat and exhale, lift it up and lower and lift. Try not to let the upper leg even move at all. 2 more to go. Try to make contact with the upper leg. And last one. We'll lower the lower foot and then we'll lower the upper foot. Very nice. Side kick. Come on up to the elbow. Legs in the same place, slightly out to the front. Spine is long and straight. Some of you may have to lift up your rib cage, and we're lifted out of the shoulder. Head in line with the spine. Arm up, wide chest. Elbow bends, fingertips to the side of the head. Upper leg lifts till it's parallel to the floor. Flex the foot. Exhale, swing it forward. Pulse, pulse. Inhale, point the foot, swing it behind. Pulse, pulse. And forward and back. Keeping the leg as straight as possible. And then trying to avoid any movement in the upper body. And we'll do 2 more sets. Okay, leg comes to the starting position. That's the upper leg over the lower leg. We'll lower it down. And we're going to come back down to our mat again to do our internal, external rotation. You're either here or you're here. Okay. Knees are bent out in front of you. Feet are more or less lined up with the spine. Okay, let's lift up the upper leg only. We'll do external rotation and internal rotation, and external and internal. So think about screwdrivering the femur bones in the hip joint. And there's no movement in the hips themselves. You're not rolling your hips backwards. You're not rolling your hips forward. How far can you externally rotate? How far can you internally rotate? We'll do 1 more. And we'll bring it to neutral, take a little rest. I like to externally rotate and exhale as I do that, and inhale as I internally rotate. But if breathing a different way works for you, that's fine, as long as you're breathing. So let's go on to version 2. We'll lift up the leg. And let's start with the internal rotation. Then we'll go to the external rotation. We'll hold that external rotation as we straighten the leg. And then we bend the knee. We go to internal rotation and external rotation. And again, the knee stays in the same spot as you straighten the leg and bend the knee. And internal and external and straighten and bend and internal and external and straighten and bend and in and out and straighten and bend. We want to hold those hips really still and straighten and bend. 2 more sets. Internal, external, straighten, bend, and internal, external, straighten, and bend. And we'll bring the leg to neutral and we'll float it down. If you want to pull the knee tight into the chest, that might give you a nice little stretch for right here. Okay, very nice. Come to sitting again. Come face your screen. I'm going to scooch back just a little. We're going to do our back support. So I want everybody to point the feet. You can't quite see my feet, but the feet are pointed and the legs are straight and the legs are together. I'm going to go sideways here. You stay where you are. Now, we definitely want the fingers facing forward. We don't want them facing backwards. So the fingers can be facing forward or ever so slightly out to the side. Okay, I want you to straighten your arms. I want you to lift up out of the shoulders and then lift up the heart, lift up the chest. In other words, arch the thoracic spine and shoulder blades are gliding down. On the exhale, lift your hips off the mat. On the inhale, lower and hover. I don't care how high you lift up. You can lift up an inch, but just lift up however your body will go. And inhale, lower. You might be able to lift up to a straight line. And inhale, lower. Head stays in line with the spine. So lots of nice work for the glutes and the back muscles. And we'll do that one more time, however high you want to go. And inhale a little lower. So we'll let the legs come apart a little bit and flex the feet. We're going to take an easy stretch, rounding the back. I'm not going to try to reach for my toes because my back muscles were just working. I don't want to overstretch them. And from here, we're going to lie down on our belly. Let's all face that way so we're all on the same page. Okay. So back extension, arms alongside the body, legs together, feet pointed. The arms and the hands press into the sides of the body. So none of the arms is touching the floor. The front of the shoulders are off the mat and the nose is floating off the mat. Make your spine longer and pull the belly muscles in. And as you inhale, lift up the upper half of your spine, lift up the chest. And exhale, lower and hover. Leave the feet on the floor. Inhale, lift. The back of the neck is long. And exhale, lower and hover. And inhale, lift. The shoulder blades are gliding down. And exhale, lower and hover. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale, lower. So we're going to let the legs come apart a little bit. And the arms go out ahead of us in almost in a high V position. We're going to prep for swimming. So I don't want the arms shoulder width. I want them a little wider than shoulder width. Palms face down, shoulder blades glide down. We're going to firm up all the muscles along the back of the body and pull the belly muscles in. Lift up your left leg and your right arm and hold and breathe. As you lift up that arm, keep the shoulder blade from shrugging up toward the ear. And lower. And reorganize the body a little bit, and then lift up the straight right leg and the straight left arm. And breathe. And lower. So we're going to do our swimming. The work in the swimming comes from the center of the body. We try to keep the arms and legs as straight as possible, and you're pumping the arms and legs in opposition. So let's firm up the back of the body and the front of the body. We'll lift up all four limbs, and we start pumping. Da, 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 da. Pump, 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 pump. Keep going, and be sure you're breathing. Da, 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 da. Work from your center. Shoulder blades are down. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Hands stack under the forehead. Take a few breaths and give the body time to soften a little. Give the muscles in the back time to release a little. And then when you're ready, come up to all fours. Okay, I want everybody to have a straight spine. And then I want everybody to arch the back. So you can arch the back as much as you want. Take an inhale. And then exhale, come to a slightly rounded spine. So just lift the lower ribs a little bit. Inhale, arch the back as much as you want. And exhale, round the spine a little bit more. And inhale, arch the back as much as you want. And now exhale, round the spine as much as you want. Those muscles are finally released. You can lengthen them out. And inhale, arch. And exhale, round. We'll do one more time each way. I like to finish up rounding the back and then come to neutral, and then go ahead and sit on your mat facing your screen. So let's Flexible people can straighten the legs all the way and flex the feet. I'm going to just turn slightly slanted so you can see a little better. If your hamstrings are tight, go ahead and bend your knees a little bit. That'll enable you to sit up tall and straight with a nice flat back. Okay, we'll just relax the arms here. Now we inhale, the arms circle out and up. We want to try to keep the shoulder blades down. Now we're going to exhale. We start to roll back, and then we change our mind and bring the arms forward with a rounded back. We're going to dive into the pool. You might be able to reach your toes. If you can't reach your toes, don't worry about it. Rest your hands on your shins. And now hold on to whatever you're holding on to and try to find some relaxation in the body. You're not forcing anything here, right? We want this to be easy. Take some nice slow breaths. You'll find that each time you exhale, you might be able to sink a little bit lower. But let gravity do it, not you. One more exhale. Now, as you inhale, think of lifting the spine, making it longer, and then we're going to just kind of roll the pelvis backward as we flatten the low back. And then we'll flatten the mid spine, and we'll flatten the upper spine. And the head will come up last. Now, hopefully everybody's sitting with a tall, straight spine. Let's bring the arms forward and give yourselves a big hand.